A couple of weeks ago, I needed to get to Abu Dhabi for Etihad's inaugural A350 flight. In case you missed it, I'll put a link to that video up top here. Etihad don't serve as many cities in Europe as the bigger Gulf airlines, so from Stockholm that would mean flying to one of their gateways. When I saw that they had their 787-10 running out of Amsterdam, I decided to book that. Unfortunately, the connection was less than smooth. I bought the ticket through Etihad starting from Stockholm. The first leg was on KLM, Etihad code, and that meant not only that I couldn't really do the document checks or online check-in with either airline, but also that in Stockholm they couldn't give me the boarding pass for this leg from Amsterdam to Abu Dhabi, and that's meant that I've been on a kind of wild goose chase across all of Schiphol Airport to look for the transit desk, which I eventually found at the very end of as far as I could go, basically, and it was closed, no one there. So then I walked over to the gate. The plane had just come in, but no one's at the gate, so I'm kind of without a boarding pass, which kind of means I can't go in the lounge, I don't think, and I'm a little bit nervous to go and try because the lounge is all the way back on the other side of the airport. So let's see what happens. Hopefully I get my boarding pass soon and get on this 787-10. See you on board. But anyway, on to the 787-10, which looks positively lovely in Etihad colors. I asked if I could briefly chat to the captain. Etihad doesn't allow jump seating for security reasons, but it was nice to pay the flight crew a quick visit in any case.
My name is Maher Al-Farah. I'm with Mohammed Faisal today. We just arrived to the aircraft, so we're just doing the pre-flight at the moment and setting up the airplane for the route and performance that we're going to need for today's flight. Fairly straightforward. Flying over Europe, it's generally quite busy in terms of other traffic. And then today's route takes us over Turkey as well as Iran, so we just have to considerations for the high ground there. Normally it's just precautionary where we take note of the elevation just in case there's any depressurization issues. We need to plan for escape routes, as we call them, to stay above the high ground.
Have you noticed airspace getting busier as we talk about travel coming back?
Yes, it's over the past, I'd say, 6 months, it's been picking up fairly quickly.
Keep your seatbelt fastened at all times in case we encounter any unexpected turns.
So we're on board the Etihad 787-10, and my first time on board Etihad, which is kind of fun, and first time flying to Abu Dhabi. Unfortunately, I won't have any time really to spend in Abu Dhabi, but it's cool to get a chance to try out Etihad after having been on a couple of their planes at air shows on the ground. And actually sit in this seat for a few hours. The cabin is gorgeous, the seat looks very comfortable. I kind of wish that there was rear-facing seats that were closer to the window. That's my favorite of all possible configurations, and these ones that go forward and backwards. So I'm in a forward-facing, closer to the window side seat. Both look pretty good. The window seats aren't overly exposed to the aisle from what I can tell. And rear-facing is always fun, but I still prefer to be closer to the windows and be able to look outside more easily. Anyway, gorgeous cabin, and taking a look around here before people board. Got to speak to the pilots, and let's see how we go with the service. Always interesting to try a new airline, and it's actually only my second time on a 787-10. Flew my first one a few weeks ago, out of here as well, on KLM. Here's a look at economy class.
So 3 minutes to your security search and then you can start boarding.
They have the extra legroom economy space seats on the 787 as well, and it all looks very comfy. For economy class anyway. If you check out the other video, you'll see how the colors and seat design have changed somewhat on the A350. Which do you prefer? Cheers.
In emergency, the floor path markings will guide you to the exits.
787 is a very nice plane to fly on. However, I will say the sight lines can be awkward on here because of the rear-facing seats, which are positioned in such a way that you can easily meet eyes with other passengers. It's a little weird. Still, I like the space, I like the colors and the materials. It all feels very premium and comfortable. That leads me to the best thing about this flight, the cabin crew.
No, we just need to go to report here.
I mentioned in the A350 video that this is clearly something Etihad does well, and I found the service on this leg to be stellar. Friendly, welcoming, all the best things. Otherwise, there's this Acqua di Parma Amenity kit. I wish the kit were Etihad branded instead, and I wish we'd see some of the sustainable amenities Etihad has been trialing introduced on all their flights. Either way, here's a look at what's inside. Standard eye shades and socks in the Etihad brown. All kinds of stuff in here. Hand cream. Standard toothbrush with Colgate. Looks like some cologne as well. Very interesting. A little surprised they don't use some of the newfangled bamboo toothbrushes or other kind of more sustainable looking things. I know they've been pushing for that. They've been rolling out some on an experimental basis, these kind of more sustainable products. But I guess it hasn't made it to the wider fleet yet. It's only on select runs, so okay. Not too much going on in that case, but the actual case, if you don't mind the branding on it, which I think it kind of looks cool, in these Etihad colors, it could be kind of useful. It feels solid, like it's not going to break after 3 days. So, okay. Passing grade. And in case you're curious, this is what they hand out to kids on board, including in economy. Food was pretty good, though like I mentioned in the A350 video, it didn't blow me away. The Arabic meze was tasty, and the chicken biryani was as well. They had a Bellini on offer as a cocktail, which was a fun touch. They're a little too sweet for me, but a special cocktail is always a nice addition. They have some snacks you can choose from at any time, and I decided to try out the steak sandwich. It was honestly a little underwhelming too. As always, I'm holding the airline to a high standard here, so my criticism should be taken in that context. But I thought it could have been better. On the entertainment side, there are some live TV channels, news and sports basically, and an acceptable selection of TV shows and movies. I'd say it's very middle of the pack when it comes to entertainment. I've previously mentioned that they put data caps on their Wi-Fi, and like I said before, that's not competitive these days. It was also very slow, and the USB was one of those low-powered ones that will only barely charge your phone. Standard outlets were also available though, which deliver more power. As the sun set and we approached the Gulf, we got some beautiful views of the lights of Iran, and then floated in over the UAE for a smooth touchdown in Abu Dhabi.
seats for arrival.
So would I recommend the Etihad 787 for a long flight? Sure. It's a perfectly comfortable way to fly. For now, the A350 is definitely better if you can get it. I do think Etihad could step certain things up a little bit, and I'd love to see them do that in the coming years. Like I've said before, they do a lot of things well, so there's plenty of potential there. In Abu Dhabi, for Flight Radar 24, I'm Gabriel Lee.